Art from different cultures and eras has long enriched our sacred spaces. But how led are we to include enculturated expressions of the local faith community? Speaking of liturgy, Father Michael Wallace, the vicar of All Saints Church and chaplain of Selwyn College, Dunedin, New Zealand, discusses images of Mary depicted in New Zealand churches and invites us to consider to what extent our own images of Mary are local expressions of indigenous knowledge and faith.
I'm going to speak today about one aspect of liturgical enculturation, specifically the image of Mary. Having an Australian audience in mind, I will omit some Māori words I'd usually use and translate some words normally said in Māori into English. To those New Zealanders listening, aroha mai. Dating from 1865, All Saints Dunedin is a beautiful neo-Gothic church with much wonderful art, including paintings, icons, richly carved furniture and sculptures. We also have many spectacular windows, some from catalogues of European studios, some designed and made specifically for this church. Art from European mind worlds and different design traditions are present throughout the church. But we have a problem with Maria. Mary is portrayed 6 times in stained glass, 4 times in icons or paintings, once in the Stations of the Cross, and in one statue. The statue is a mass-produced plaster image of a blonde Mary and Jesus from the 1950s. There are probably millions of identical statues throughout the world. In the past couple of years, we have hosted several Māori events here. Each time, Māori visitors would enjoy the beauty of the church, then ask, where are the woven panels? Where is the Māori carving? Where is anything Māori? Each time I was asked, where is anything Māori, I was reminded of something 20th century poet-theologian James K. Baxter wrote to his Māori wife Jackie Sturm from the village of Jerusalem on the banks of the Wanganui River in the North Island. No rafter paintings, no grass stalk panels, no Māori Mass. Christ and his mother are lively Italians, leaning forward to bless. No woven band on her head, no feather cloak on his shoulder, no stairway to heaven, no tears of the albatross. Here at Jerusalem, after 90 years of bungled opportunities, I prefer not to invite you into the European Church. In 1971, Baxter wrote about his hopes for the future of the church in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I will be interested to see what the walls and the windows and the rafters are like. I hope they are mainly in Māori style. I hope the woven panels and painted rafters are part of God's plan for us. I hope that our Lord and our Lady will stand in the middle of the house and look at us with Māori faces. Noting the lack of Māori faces in our church, in 2020, Māori members of the parish and I worked together to commission a sculpture of Mary and Jesus in traditional style. We sought the blessing of the Māori Bishop of the South Island, Richard Wallace, for the project. We asked Master Carver Rongomai Tawhiti Parata Taiapa, whose ancestors are the traditional owners of the part of Dunedin in which the church stands. When asked about the carving for All Saints, Rongomai was initially hesitant and then threw himself into the project. He developed a design which was tweaked after consultation with Māori members of the parish and then approved by the Māori bishop. Rongomai writes, I was stoked as to be able to have the privilege and honour to work on such an awesome project. Incredible. I really tried to do the best I could and bring the carving out of the wood and bring it to life. It's important to note that the design was developed, refined, and approved by Māori, a Māori carver, Māori members of the parish, and the Māori bishop. This ensured that the project treated indigenous knowledge respectfully and appropriately. In the carving, Mary is portrayed in Māori style with 3 fingers on each hand. Her eyes are inlaid with abalone shell. She wears a chiefly cloak with borders of bold geometric patterns. The cloak indicates her prestige, her ancestry, and her role as the mother of Jesus. The many strands of flax that make up the cloak symbolize the many people Mary inspires. The cloak also represents the shelter offered to all welcomed into churches. This Mary has tattoos. Traditionally, Māori women receive tattoos on their lips and chin. Such tattoos represent a woman's family and leadership within her community. They recognize her genealogy, status, and abilities. This Mary wears a jade pendant in the shape of an unfurling frond, symbolizing new life, growth, and strength. Jade is highly valued in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and plays an important role in Māori culture. Māori members of the parish decided to name the sculpture Hakui Meri Tapu or MPhil. Hakui is an acknowledgement of respect and form of address to a female elder. Meri Tapu means Holy Mary. MPhil is the name of the river which runs through our parish. It's also the name of the pre-European settlement closest to where the church stands, on the banks of the MPhil River. This unique sculpture has a unique and wonderful name chosen by Māori members of the parish. Māori priest Father Wiremu Quedley donated a large jade rock to be a touchstone near the carving. The rock was fitted beneath the carving so that people can touch the precious stone beneath Mary. This Mary is uniquely grounded in this context. She's a treasure made in the beautiful style and mind world unique to this place. A treasure named after the river which flows through our parish, and after the historic village which stood nearby. A large piece of jade, one of the most precious materials from Aotearoa, New Zealand, adorns the sculpture. This carving reminds us where we are. It reminds us that the divine meets us in this place, that the divine meets us in creation and in the peoples and cultures unique to this place. American art historian Liz Lev says, Mary has been equated with the church since the beginning of Christianity. Mary, who represents the church, is always bringing her face, her image, to new contexts. Mary is presenting her Son, pointing towards her Son. In every locality, she becomes part of that world, so she can draw us to the true Christ. In this carving, we see Mary presenting her Son to us, drawing us to the true Christ. This carving recalls for us Mary's response to God's invitation to be part of God's plans. This carving reminds us that we are called to proclaim God's kingdom in this particular place, Dunedin North, by the banks of the MPhil. This carving tells us that being Christian means joining Mary in proclaiming God's faithfulness from generation to generation in ways appropriate to this place. I invite you to consider the images of Mary in your church. What does she look like? Is she a pale 19th century European? How do the images of Mary in your church reflect the reality of the people in your parish or area? How does her image assist you to point to her Son in your context, in your place, in this time? How might the natural world in your place inform how Mary might be perceived? How might local indigenous knowledge be used appropriately to portray Mary? What would the enculturated name of Mary be in your place? I suggest you find the indigenous people in your area, build a relationship with them, learn their story, respect their knowledge, and invite them to guide you to the most appropriate way to solve the problem of Maria in your unique context.
That was Father Michael Wallace discussing images of Mary and the importance of art in expressing local Indigenous faith.